Students, next concept that is called as pregnancy. The pregnancy is also called gestation process. Gestation. Here the gestation means the sequential events. The sequential events includes fertilization, embryo development, implantation and fetal growth at the region of uterus. Such events together called pregnancy or gestation. Here the period between fertilization to parturition, it means delivery. The period between fertilization to parturition, that process is called as pregnancy. That period is called as pregnancy period. The pregnancy period in the case of humans, that is about 9 months, 9-month duration, that is called as pregnancy period. Here pregnancy means sequential events of fertilization, embryo development, implantation, fetal growth, up to that parturition process, that events which are considered as a pregnancy or gestation process. During the process of gestation, after the process of implantation process, after the implantation, placenta is developed, and in between placenta and embryo or fetus, the ultimate connection is developed. That ultimate connection is developed between placenta and embryo, that is called as umbilical cord. During the pregnancy period, the different types of hormones which are secreted in mother blood, different types of hormones which are secreted during the process of pregnancy period. The hormones like estrogen hormone, progesterone hormone, and in addition to that, cortisol hormone, thyroxine hormone, prolactin. These are the different types of hormones which are released in the mother blood for the purpose of fetal development and changes. Due to these hormones, particularly the changes, the metabolic activities, particularly in the case of pregnancy. It is the sequential events occur particularly in the region of uterus after the implantation, that is called as pregnancy period. And during the process of pregnancy period, here inner cell mass, particularly in the case of blastocyst, here there is an inner cell mass. The inner cell mass is differentiated to produce embryonic layers, ectoderm, endoderm, and mesoderm layers. These are the layers which are very, very important for the formation of tissues and organs. For the formation of tissues and organs, the tissue is very, very responsible. It is the one that is called as stem cells. That's stem cells which are having the capacity for the production of tissues and organs during developmental stages of the fetus. Next to that, the features of embryo development, particularly at the region of fetus. It is the major process in the case of pregnancy period. In a pregnancy period, this process development of embryo is very important. The major features of embryonic development. After the 1 month of pregnancy, particularly in the case of embryo, the heart is developed. The first month of pregnancy, the heart is developed. The heart produces sound. That the sound is listened by stethoscope. It is the embryonic development, particularly after first month of pregnancy. After the second month of pregnancy, the fetus, in a fetus, limbs and digits which are developed. After second month of pregnancy, in a fetus, limbs and digits which are developed. And after third month of pregnancy, organ systems which are developed, particularly limbs and external genitalia is developed. After 3 months, first trimester of pregnancy, organ systems, particularly limbs and external genitalia is developed. After 5 months of pregnancy, particularly in the case of fetus, hairs which are developed on the head, and fetal movement takes place after 5th month of pregnancy. In second trimester or after 6 months of pregnancy, fetal body is covered with hairs which covers the fetus, and development of eyelids. The eyelids which are separated, development of eyelids and separation of eyelids which takes place in 6 months, and formation of eyelashes during 6th month of pregnancy, particularly in the case of fetus. And in the case of 9th month of pregnancy, the fetus is fully developed. All the organs which are fully developed in 9th month of pregnancy and ready for delivery. These are the major features, particularly in embryo developmental stages. Next, parturition. Parturition is the process. That process is commonly called childbirth or delivery of the baby, delivery of the fetus, that is called as parturition. Parturition is the process that is called as childbirth. Is the parturition process. Or expel of fully developed fetus from the uterus. Expel of fully developed fetus from the uterus through the birth canal. That process is called as a parturition. The parturition process is induced by endocrine mechanism. Due to that, in this mechanism, during the process of parturition, there is a secretion of different types of hormones like cortisol. Cortisol hormone is secreted from the pituitary gland. cortisol is secreted, estrogen is secreted, and oxytocin is secreted. Oxytocin is the hormones which are excessively released during childbirth or during parturition process. And in addition to that, there is a parturition signal produced from fully developed fetus. Parturition signal from fully developed fetus and placenta induces mild contraction of uterine muscles, that is called as fetal ejection reflex. It is very important. It is commonly called labor pain. Here the parturition signal starts from fully developed fetus and placenta causes mild contraction of uterine muscles, that is called as fetal ejection reflex. Due to this effect, mild contraction from the pituitary gland of the mother of the pregnant female, OT is secreted, oxytocin is secreted. This oxytocin actually causes vigorous contraction of uterine muscles, strong contraction of uterine muscles, that should be causes parturition or delivery. For the purpose of delivery, or in the process of delivery, different hormones role is very important. Particularly, this hormone is very necessary, that is called as oxytocin. Therefore, it is necessary for a birth. Therefore, this hormone is called as birth hormone. OT, oxytocin. It is secreted from pituitary gland of the mother at the time of parturition. Therefore, the OT is considered as a birth hormone. After the process of parturition, after the process of delivery, in the case of females, particularly at the region of mammary glands, milk is secreted. Secretion of milk from the mammary gland after the parturition. That process is called as lactation. Lactation is the process in which secretion of the milk from breast or mammary glands of the female. The process is called as lactation. During the process of lactation, one of the hormone is necessary. That hormone is called as prolactin. During the lactation process, the yellow colored milk is secreted. During initial days of lactation. That is called as colostrum. Here, yellow colored milk secreted from the mammary gland during initial days of lactation, that is called as a colostrum. Here, the colostrum containing antibodies, rich antibodies which are present in a colostrum. One of the antibodies dominant, particularly in a colostrum, that is called as IgA, immunoglobulin. Here Ig means immunoglobulin. Immunoglobulin A is present in a colostrum. Therefore, here IgA is present. Therefore, this IgA are antibodies which provide immunity. Means body defense, immunity to the fetus. For that immunity of the baby, what is that? Antibodies which are necessary. Such antibodies which are located at the region of colostrum, that is called as immunoglobulin A, provide immunity to the baby. It is about that. the lactation process. During initial days of lactation, the milk is produced from the mammary gland that is called as a colostrum. It is about that. These are the concepts which occur in human reproduction. Now, human reproduction topic is completed. These are the diagrams which are occur in textbook. Here, this diagram shows that it is the egg. During the process of fertilization, the sperms which are entered into the egg, then there is a fertilization is completed, particularly in fallopian tube. That fertilized egg, it means zygote. Zygote undergo cleavage to produce two-celled embryo. Here there is occurrence of 2 blastomeres, 4 blastomeres, 8 blastomeres, 16 blastomeres, stages 16 blastomere, 8 blastomere stage, which are considered as morula stages. After the morula, then there is a formation of blastocyst. Blastocyst containing outermost covering, trophoblast, inner cell mass. In future, inner cell mass is developed into fetus. Outermost covering means trophoblast develops into a placenta and embryonic extra embryonic membranes. Here, the fertilization is completed in the fallopian tube. After the completion of fertilization, particularly at the region of fallopian tube, the movement of embryonic stages takes place. Finally, which are enters into the uterus, and afterwards implantation takes place. After the implantation, placenta is formed. Then what is that? Around the trophoblast, around the outermost layer of the trophoblast develops into chorionic villi. The chorionic villi and plus wall of the mother, where there is ultimate connection, the structural and functional unit is developed, that is called as a placenta. After the formation of placenta, there is exchange of materials which takes place between mother and fetus, and ultimately the fetal growth is develops. That process is called as pregnancy period or gestation period. The period between fertilization up to parturition process is called as fertilization process. This is the diagram, shows fetus, development of fetus. Here there is a chorionic villi which are formed. It is the cavity of the uterus. Inside the cavity of the uterus, where there is a embryo is developed. Here there is extra embryonic layers which are formed. In addition to that chorionic villi, chorion, extra embryonic layers which are also formed. It means amnion membrane, allointois membrane, and yolk sac membranes which are formed during the developmental stages of embryo. And after the growth of embryo, after the pregnancy period, after the gestation period, baby is fully developed. Here in between the placenta and fetus, where there is one of the cord is developed. That cord, that is called as umbilical cord. Here the umbilical cord is necessary for exchange of materials from mother blood to fetal blood and fetal blood to mother blood, where there is exchange of materials which takes place with the help of umbilical cord. After the fully development of fetus, baby is delivered. That process is called as parturition process. After parturition, particularly at the region of mammary glands, there is a secretion of milk takes place, that is called as lactation process.